I'd like to introduce to you Matthew Danger Lippman, Ben Green, Ted Jamison, Arden Yonkers, Katy Ray, and Jackie West. We're going to do something now for you. It's a little song called Brownsville Girl from the 1986 Bob Dylan album, Knocked Out and Loaded.
I love Brownsville!
What if it was about a girl from Brownsville?
Thank you guys for listening to the depressing songs.
I love depression!
Well, there was this movie I seen one time about a man riding across the desert, and it starred Gregory Peck. He was shot down by a hungry kid, just trying to make a name for himself. The townspeople wanted to crush that kid and string him up by the neck. Well, the marshal, he beat that kid to a bloody pulp. As the dime gun finally in the sun and gas for his last breath. Turn him loose, let him go, let him say I drew me fair and square. I want him to feel what it's like to every moment face his death. Well, I just keep seeing this stuff and it just used to live. He owned a wrecking lot outside of town about a mile. Ruby was in the backyard hanging clothes. She had her red hair tied back. She saw us coming up in a trail of dust. She said, Henry ain't here, but you can come on in. He'll be back in a little while. Then she told us about how times were tough and how she was thinking of bumming a ride back to from where she started. But she changed the subject every time money came up. She said, welcome to the land of the living dead. Ah, but you could tell she was so broken hearted. She said even the swamp meets around here are getting pretty corrupt. How far are y'all going? Ruby asked us with a sigh. We're going all the way till the wheels fall off and burn. Till the sun feels the pain and the sea colors fade and the water magazine dies. She just smiled and said, oh, you know some babies never learn. Well, there was something about that movie though, I just couldn't get it out of my head. I didn't know why I was in it or which part I was supposed to play. All I remember about it was Gregory Peck and the way people move. And a lot of those people seem to be looking my way. Brownsville girls, we're Brownsville girls. Teeth like pearls, shining like a bluebird. Brownsville girl, show me all around the world. Brownsville girl, you're well, they were looking for somebody with a pompadour. I was crossing the street when shots rang out. I didn't know whether to duck or to run, so I ran. We got him cornered in the churchyard. I heard somebody shout. You saw my picture in the Corpus Christi Tribune. Underneath it said a man with no alibi. You went out on a limb to testify for me. You said I was with you. Then when I saw you break down in front of the judge and cry real tears, that was the best acting I saw anybody do. Never liked to trespass. But sometimes, you know, when you just find yourself over the line. Oh, there's an original thought out there. You know, I feel pretty good, but that's not saying much. I can feel a whole lot better. If you were just here by my side to show me how. I'm standing alive in the rain to see a movie starring Gregory Peck. But you know it's not the one that I had in mind. He's got a new one out now. You know, baby, there was always something about you that I liked that was just too good for this world. Like how you said there was something about me that you liked that I left in the French Quarter.